this goes to General Sibiya, but I need to take you back. You asked me about my interactions with General Mkonazi. What was it that was discussed during the meeting? And I only told you about the Medicare tender and the warrant. So, and I said some of the things I could not talk about them because I wouldn't want to prematurely disclose my defense strategy. Because if you go back, and now I mentioned about General Sibiya, and the very same recordings that I was talking about, his name has been mentioned there. And I said those recordings are under investigation, and I do not know what actually are they investigating me about in those recordings. So I did not say anything about him because I did not want to somehow end up incriminating myself.
I think, Mr. Matlala, the question is, what is your relationship with this person? So it has nothing to do with offenses that are under investigation and the possibility of self-incrimination. You are being asked to explain your history and or relationship. Take Mr. Van Wyk, for example. You've set out what your history and relationship is with him. Then you say, because he's a witness in the Medicare matter, you won't say anything further. But in relation to General Sibiya, you don't even say you know him. You don't even say you have a history with him.
Okay.
And that is separate from whatever issues are being investigated and may be the subject of criminal proceedings. So I would expect you to please answer the question, what is your history and relationship with General Sibiya? And then at a stage where you need to assert your privilege, you may do so. But I cannot accept that you are not even able to say, I know the person.
I understand, Commissioner. So I will say I know him because of at some point I went to his office to make a complaint about the occupation of the lease agreement that I had with Public Works. So that is the first time that I got to know of him.
The what of the lease?
The lease agreement, I had a lease with Public Works for the hospital that is situated inside SAPS College, which is in Pretoria West. So and then I couldn't occupy that hospital. So that was my first time that I went to him to complain about that.
Perhaps to assist you, please let's go to the Regulation 10.6 itself, because specific questions are posted there in respect of each individual that is listed in Schedule A. So if you could consider all the questions set out in subparagraphs 2.2.1 to 2.2.7, can we invite you to answer each one in relation specifically to General Sibiya? That might help Commissioner.
Sorry,
Kumalo.
Commissioner, can you please clarify that again?
Please, let's go to the Regulation 10.6 in the same file that contains your statement. The first document should be the Regulation 10.6 notice.
Yes.
And if we go to page 3 of that file, at sub 2.2, it reads, explain your history and or relationship, direct or indirect, with the listed law enforcement officials in Schedule A attached hereto. In your response, you are required to provide the following information, and then it is set out in further subs 1 to 7 at page 4.
May I make this request, Mr. Law? Can you please read all those sub-paragraphs, but instead of individuals or officials, specifically refer in each instance to General Sibiya?
I shall do so, Chair.
And then, so you refer to 2.2.1, we wait for an answer.
I shall do so,
all
Chair.
the way down. Thank you.
Thank you. So, but you have reacquainted yourself with paragraph 2.2. You understand what it requires of you.
Of course.
Yes. So then, back to Commissioner Kumalo's question, we are talking about your relationship now specifically with General Sibiya, and we are going to consider each question in turn. When and how did you meet General Sibiya?
When 2023 or 20, we still on General Sibiya, right?
Yes, only.
Yes. It was in January 2023 or 2024, I don't remember well.
Okay.
And then by how, I already explained how I met him.
No, you haven't. You say you met him when you went to raise the issue of the lease agreement regarding the hospital at the subs college. That doesn't speak to the how. So I'm sure if I tried to go to that office, they won't grant me access. How did you gain access there? How did you secure that meeting to get the opportunity to put your gripe to him? Why did he entertain your visit? That's the kind of detail required. So if you could help us with that.
Yes, it's because I sent him an email.
Okay.
And then requested for a meeting. And his email address was given to me by Sergeant Ngosi.
Yes.
That's, I think that will answer by a third party who made the introduction.
So it was Sergeant Ngosi who made the introductions?
Yes.
Okay. The second then is at 2.2.2, the nature or description of your relationship with General Sibiya.
I do not have a relationship with him.
Maybe not now, but let's say from the date you met him until the date of your arrest. What was the nature of your relationship with him? The description, nature or description of your relationship?
I do not know how to answer this question, Commissioner. You say nature.
Were you friends?
No.
So your engagements with him, what were they? Were you engaging with him as a policeman, as what?
The engagement, hence I said, is something which is under investigation, which I cannot. Yes, there are engagements, but it's something that is under investigation, and partly some charges that I'm currently facing. So for me to explain that to you, I have to go deep in and then explain the nature of the charges that I'm currently facing that involves him.
Let me ask you this. Are you not able to say, these are the examples of the engagements I had with him? With this ones, there are no issues. But this one, I know that there's an investigation, so I assert my privilege. I would have a difficulty if you said, even when you met him at his office, to lay charges or to complain about service delivery. You're not going to tell us about it.
But that I've already done it.
Now, you mentioned one incident when you met with him to discuss the public works issue.
Yes.
So that was one.
Yeah,
and
of course.
The question I asked you was, from that moment until the date of your arrest, what was the nature and description of your relationship?
That's something that I cannot go into because it's under investigation. I cannot go into that.
Did you, after you had met him for the first time, did the two of you socialize? Maybe meet at ceremonies, functions?
You mean the first time?
Did after you had met him for the first time? After?
Yes, I met him.
Did you socialize?
Socialize meaning
meet at
meeting
ceremonies,
at a social gathering.
meet at ceremonies, functions?
Yes.
Okay. And what sort of gatherings or ceremonies?
It was an engagement party, I think.
Whose engagement?
I don't know whether it's his daughter or his son. I'm not sure about that. But it's between the two. I'm not sure whether it was the daughter or the son.
All right,
Thank you, Commissioners. You say, I will say it is under investigation, and of course I speak subject to your correction. You can't talk about your relationship with General Sibiya because what is under investigation exactly? Is it your relationship with General Sibiya that is under investigation?
Is the contents of what is in the recordings regarding General Sibiya and also is in relation with the Medicare tender.
So what is under investigation insofar as your relationship with General Sibiya is concerned is regarding the Medicare tender?
Yes, that's correct.
And anything else?
Like the contents that are in the recordings.
What does that mean, Mr. Matlala?
Chairperson, for me to explain that, I have to obviously now speak about what is in the content of those recordings.
You see, what I'm trying to understand is you are asserting a right, right? And the right you seek to assert is the right not to self-incriminate. Now, logic dictates that you can only self-incriminate in a specific offense. Do you understand what I'm saying, at least?
I hear you.
Okay. Now, what you seek to do, you say you can't talk of a relationship generally with this particular person because there is a risk you will incriminate yourself. That then raises the next question, incriminate yourself in what? You must be able to articulate that for the commissioners to accept that, yes, indeed, you do face such a risk. So you're going to have to articulate they're going to have to explain exactly what the offense is.
The offense...
Perhaps let me just explain where Ms. Silo is coming from. There is a decision by the Constitutional Court, and sitting here in a legal context, we are bound by those decisions. There is a decision by the Constitutional Court that says if someone is asserting the privilege that you are asserting, what they say must be within clearly defined contours or parameters. They cannot just in general say, I'm asserting my privilege against self-incrimination. So it's on that basis or at that level that Ms. Silo is engaging you. Do you follow that? So you cannot just say, because issues relating to Mr. Or General Sibiya somehow relate to the Medicare 24 contract. I'm not willing to answer any question relating to that because I might incriminate myself. That may not fall within what the Constitutional Court prescribed. So it's on that basis that Ms. Silo is engaging you. Are you in a position to respond, or do you want Ms. Silo to repeat the question?
So saying that it's because of the Medicare tender, it does not justify why I cannot comment on that. So I should explain, is fraud, is money laundering, so I do not know how I should explain that. I don't know.
Okay, let's try it this way. You are facing a criminal charge in respect of Medicare 24 tender.
Yes.
General Sibiya is not.
Yes.
What bearing does your relationship with General Sibiya have on that charge you are facing when he's not your co-accused?
He is. He's not my co-accused, but
Yes.
He's been investigated.
By who?
By IDEC.
In what case? For what crime? What offense?
The Medicare tender.
And what is the proof of that when he is already not part of the litany of accused who are now being charged for the Medicare tender? So you have about these 14, 15 people who are already facing criminal charges. Now you say by IDEC, initiated by IDEC, and you say he is still under investigation. On what basis do you so say? Because one would have expected that he formed part of this cohort of accused persons, which he doesn't.
Yes, I do not know why he's not part of the...
Then how do you know he's under investigation?
Because I've been questioned about him, and also I have made a statement under Section 204 when I was being questioned about him.
You were questioned about him in respect of Medicare 24?
Yes.
Okay. I'll accept that. But what does that have to do with the fact that he's your friend? I'm sure you were questioned, and I suggest to you, about certain conduct, his conduct. Was that not the extent of the questioning?
Of course.
So that conduct, you don't need to be friends for that conduct to raise questions and be subjected to investigation. We are not discussing his conduct. We are discussing your relationship with him. Why can't you comment on that without necessarily saying anything about his conduct, which you suggest IDEC is investigating?
Commissioner, I've already commented on that. I don't know whether you want me to say, I told you he was not my friend. He's not my friend. But there is an investigation that is going on. So I do not know what is it that you say I cannot comment on. Unless now, if you want me to explain what is it exactly that IDEC is investigating him for.
No, that's not my question, because you want that to be my question. I'm staying away from that question. I do not accept, just for the record, that he's under investigation, because you haven't even proven that he's under investigation. Your say-so is not enough. It's not your get-out-of-jail card to refuse to answer a question simply because you suggest somebody else, or you suggest that there is an investigation, and there is not a morsel of proof before us that there is such an investigation. It is no answer, but that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you about your relationship with the man, and that you describe the relationship. Is it a long-term relationship initiated on that particular date when you went to complain about the hospital, the SAPS hospital? Does it sustain? Has it broken down? Was it very close? Was it a business relationship? I'm giving you. And you see, so far, I haven't even gotten anywhere close to what IDEC is investigating him for. And I'm demonstrating that you can answer that question without reference to what you claim IDEC is investigating him for.
Okay, then which question do you want me to answer?
Please describe, in your own words, the relationship you have with General Sibiya. You had, and if it has since changed, when it changed, and the one you currently maintain with him.
The relationship that I had with him, it was not like a friendship relationship.
Okay. Well, if it was not like something, it has to be like another. What was it like?
Now you're pushing me to say something that I do not know what I will say, because he was not a friend, yes. And for me to go further, is the only way to do that then is to go now into the contents of the investigation, which I do not want to tap in that territory.
Okay, let's...
Was he an acquaintance?
He's someone that I knew.
Thank you, Chair.